This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
All right, what's going on, guys? Back again with Nightly NXT Notes with Nunez here on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. We are back in the Performance Center, but same awesome crowd. I've been to the Performance Center crowd in NXT last year. Me and my fiance Joanna, we went, and it was amazing. Awesome crowd, awesome lineup tonight. We got the triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship at Halloween Havoc. Stephanie McCourt makes her long-awaited in-ring NXT debut against Ren Sinclair. Tony D'Angelo celebrates his NXT North American title win, and that's totally not notes. Lola Vice battles Nikita Lyons in her first match back in almost a year after her ACL injury. Riley Osborne looks to get revenge against Ridge Holland, and Ora Mensa and Lexis King square off in a gentleman's duel. So so Booker and Vic start off the show. We have the Halloween Havoc spin the wheel, make a deal in the background. We get a recap of last week's NXT. Tony D'Angelo starts off the show with the title celebration, giving Obafemi his respect. And as he's about to give a toast, Obafemi comes out with his best vacation shirt on. Dude looks just like he got off the cruise ship. Looking great, though. Challenges Tony D'Angelo for a rematch at a Halloween Havoc for the North America title, so that should be a good one. Obafemi spins the wheel, and we get tables, ladders, and scares. So I'm assuming that the match is going to take place in a haunted house, so we'll see how that goes. Byron Saxton is backstage with Ora Mensa, talking about the gentleman's duel rules, which kind of sounds like the ROH Pure Championship rules. Not really my thing. It's very interesting. I always like different, especially in wrestling. So we'll see how it plays out. Stephanie McCourt and Ren Sinclair out next. I'm surprised this wasn't second to last. They've been hyping up Stephanie McCourt, really, like, they've been hyping her up a lot. I didn't get to see her match in AEW against Mercedes Moné, but I've heard great things. This was a good back and forth. Very evenly matched. Ren Sinclair matching Stephanie in the ring. We cut to Cora and Roxanne watching backstage. At one point in the match, there's a nasty dragon screw out of the corner from Stephanie to Ren Sinclair, and she hits a package inverted backbreaker for the win. After the match, Cora and Roxanne come out to attack, and Julia comes out to make the stave. They work together to get the bad guys away, and Stephanie gets on the mic and challenges Cora and Roxanne to a tag team match at a Halloween Havoc, so that should be a good one. Let's see. Tricky Two Time, as he says, is backstage with Kalani Jordan. They're talking, they're hyping each other up, talking about their future opponents. Kalani stating that she will face whoever Ava puts in front of her, and Fatal Influence looks on and say that they will talk to Ava. They will have a conversation with her. So let's see how that goes. Lexis King out first for the gentleman's duel. Tavion Heights apparently explained the rules to Lexis King. I forgot to mention that last week. They were backstage going over strategy. So Tavion Heights states on X that he hopes that Lexis listened to him. So you can't throw over the top rope. At one point, Lexis goes to throw Ora Mensa over the top rope, but stops himself. Otherwise, he would have gotten disqualified. At one point, there's a double crossbody. They're both down. Pretty evenly matched. So admittedly, I didn't really watch NXT UK that often. But to me, watching NXT every week for a few years now, this has probably been Ora Mensa's best match on NXT TV. Him and Lexis King worked pretty well together. Even though this match had specific rules, it was still pretty good. Lexis King wins with a roll-up, so Lexis gets the victory. They shake hands afterwards, and Lexis holds up his hand, so we'll see where this goes from there. We got Cedric, Javon, Axiom, and Fraser, the tag team champions, backstage. Kind of friendly rivalry, talking about the tag team match that was cost a couple weeks ago. Wesley interrupts, and him and Evans argue. After that, we get a recap of Lash and Jakara, their title match. They were on Raw last night. They interrupted the title match against the Damage Control and Bianca and Jade. So I believe the challenge has been set. EO challenged on social media Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. So that's going to happen, I believe, next week on NXT. So that should be a good one. Out next, we got a hype package for the returning Nikita Detroit Lions. And she was, like I said before, out almost a year with her ACL injury. So it's good to see her back in the ring. And so Lola Bunny, Miami Vice is out next. But before that, they hype up Cole Custer, from NASCAR. I don't really watch NASCAR, so any NASCAR fans out there, Cole Custer will be there as a guest next week. I don't know if he's the guest, like he'll be in every segment, or he's just going to show up for a segment, so we'll see. I guess Nikita Lyons' favorite Ninja Turtle is Michael Angelo, because she comes out with the nunchucks. Like I said, she looks great. It's good to see her in the ring. Doesn't look like any ring rust. She looked really good in her match. At one point, Jada Parker comes out to distract, and that allows Nikita Lyons to take advantage. Even though she tries to get the officials' attention to let them know that Jada is out there, Jada attacks Lola, puts her back in the ring. Nikita hits her Vader drop that she calls the Lions Roar, and she gets the victory. So, big win for Nikita, and we'll see how that goes going forward. Ava, Julia, and Stephanie Vacour are in Ava's office, and the tag team match is made official. So it's going to be Stephanie Vacour, and Julia against the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade for Halloween Havoc. Fatal Influence interrupts, and they get challenged by Vacour and Julia for a tag match, and Ava puts the stipulation: if Fatal Influence is able to win, one of them could get the shot at the women's NXT North American title. So we'll see how that goes. Osborne and Holland out next. Riley coming out super hot. Does a lot of good lucha things. At one point, he hits a Whisper in the Wind. He hits a Whisper in the Wind, and then hits a standing shooting star. He is really good. I'm excited to see what the future holds for Riley Osborne. The power is too much for Rich Holland. The power from Rich Holland is too much for Riley. Riley does hit a tornado DDT off the announce table, so that was pretty cool. But in the end, Holland wins with his Redeemer package DDT. So he attacks Riley after the match. And returning Andre Chase comes out to make the save. So that rivalry still continues. We get a recap of Sol Ruka and Wendy Chu, with Tatum Paxley making the save after Chu attacks Sol Ruka. As Byron is interviewing Tatum Paxley backstage, Jada interrupts, talking about her revenge on Lola, and Tatum is mad that Jada interrupted, so looks like that's going to lead to a match between those two. We got Ashanti the Adonis against Brooks Jensen next. To me, I think Ashanti the Adonis is probably the most underrated WWE wrestler on the roster right now. I'm glad he's getting his shine. He got a rough go of it with Hit Row being let go one by one, and he wasn't really doing anything. So I'm glad he's getting his shine. I feel like he's starting to hit his stride. As I say that, he does lose this match, unfortunately, due to Carmen Petrovic coming out with rose petals of a destroyed flower that he tried to apologize to her for. So big win for Brooks Jensen. So we'll see what Ashanti does going forward. And I forgot to mention a couple weeks ago, over the past couple weeks, Delta, they've been showing packages of her walking through the desert, her beating up people on her way to the NXT building, as they show tonight, and she knocks down the logo. I'm not too familiar with Delta. I got to look her up. But the NXT women's roster is completely stacked, so should be a good addition. Let's see. So the D'Angelo family talk backstage, as well as Lexis King and the Close Quarter Catch crew. They're talking, and the D'Angelo family talks, and Luca steps up and wants to challenge Obafemi next week en route to their title match. So Luca's going to face Obafemi next week. And your boy Bouncy, Javon Evans, is out for the triple threat main event. Starts out hot, all going for pins all at once, lots of back and forth. At one point, Ethan Page and Wesley are on the outside near the announcer's table, and Evans jumps all the way from the ring to the announce table, and then they go to commercial break. Evans hits a Spanish fly at one point onto Page from the top rope and hits a rebound kick to Lee for a close two. In the end, Evans hits his spinning splash, but Page gets the advantage and rolls up Evans to become the number one contender for the NXT title. So we get a rematch of All Ego Ethan Page against Trick Williams. I really thought Wesley was going to win this one. I feel like either Wesley or Evans, especially Lee, deserved a match. I believe Wesley has not gotten an NXT title match yet in his career, so I'm hoping that he still stays in the title picture. Page, after the match, calls out Trick and asks for let's spin the wheel, and they spin the wheel, and it lands on the Devil's Playground. So I'm not really sure what that is, but after Trick says that he's not scared, and Ethan Page attacks him, and that's the end of the show. So Devil's Playground match for the NXT Championship match at Halloween Havoc. So we got a lot to look forward to the next few weeks for NXT. Thanks for listening to me ramble and not look at notes. I will talk to you guys soon.
The BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks Podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here, and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. Welcome back our sponsors, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank León, Oneil Andrews, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite podcast sponsors, Key Nation, featuring our very own BCP and BCP Plus contributor, Mr. Wayne Keener. Make sure to follow Key Nation on TikTok and Instagram for great puns, memes, dad jokes, and random ridiculous content. Thank you, Wayne, for sponsoring the BCP. Don't forget to check out one of our newest sponsors here on the BCP, Chop City Wrestling. Chop City Wrestling is where our pal Ryan Steniford takes chops from wrestlers and donates $20 to Connor's Cure for every chop he takes. Follow his adventures on his YouTube channel for all those chops and some great pro wrestling content, all for a good cause. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you, Ryan, for sponsoring the BCP. Please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, From the Left Side. From the Left Side has all of your wrestling and sports news. Check out From the Left Side at facebook.com/From the Left Side with On Air E, and be sure to hit that follow button. Thank you, From the Left Side. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Conor McCallum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure with over 150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW wrestling pics and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at jvogel on Facebook and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands, so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. And don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsors, ISPW Weekly, where we dive deep into the world of ISPW, the crossroads of professional wrestling. Join Jumpin' Jay and Total with Tom every week as they interview the stars of the ring, uncover their stories, rivalries, and the electrifying action that defines ISPW. Be sure to check out ISPW Weekly on the ISPW Facebook page every week. Please welcome in our new pod and daily site sponsor, Twisted Shamrock Studios and Spa, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Twisted Shamrock is a retro spa experience for the average Joe and Jane. Meet the next evolution of recovery and relaxation. Right now, you can try their introductory offer, where you can try a core service to include massage, skincare, facial, stretch therapy, body slimming, toning, personal training, and spray tanning for 30 minutes for just $30. This is perfect for our wrestling pals as well. Book today. Call 484-574-8868 or visit www.twistedshamrockstudiospa.com. Guys, please welcome back our podcast sponsor, Wrestling Games, live signings, and more ahead of their inaugural signing September 1st in partnership with Revolution Wrestling Federation, featuring Buff Bagwell, Gary Wolf, Renee Michelle, and L.A. Spoon. Pricing includes shout-outs from all the wrestlers. Havoc Monsters Ball Deal, $125 gets you one 8x10 each by all four announced talent and any indie wrestler that shows up on the live. There'll be at least 2 to 4. $20 each, additional 8x10 individual photos only. First photo, $25 shipped for first. Each additional $20 includes a top loader for each photo. Any mail-ins are $30 for each item, $25 each additional. More items to be posted later. Feel free to message Emil Menard for any questions or purchases. Guys, I want to shout out John Blaine's Around the Ropes podcast for sponsoring the BCP. Around the Ropes podcast is your weekly live compressive coverage of all things pro wrestling from indies to the main event of WrestleMania. Join John as he talks to some of the biggest names on the indies. Search Around the Ropes podcast on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and subscribe on YouTube by searching for Around the Ropes. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, Inside Heat Sports and Collectibles, LLC. Ahead of their Hamburg Sports and Hobby Show featuring special guest Penn State and number 2 overall draft NFL pick, New York Jets player Blair Thomas, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Hamburg, New Jersey. Blair will be signing from 11 to 1, and on-site vendors will have sports cards, TCG, memorabilia, and more. Contact Pete at InsideHeatSports@gmail.com for more info. Thank you, Inside Heat, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, please welcome in our returning pod sponsor, Warriors of Wrestling, ahead of their next event, October 5th in Staten Island, New York, featuring AEW star Khan, New Warriors champion Danny Moff, Women's champ Angel Metro, TJ Marconi, Darius Carter, Chris Steeler, Roger Mendez, Mike Ditello, The Boss Joe Bellini, and more. Get your tickets now and follow Warriors of Wrestling on YouTube. Guys, please welcome back our returning pod sponsor, Bree Combination Wrestling. Bree Combination Wrestling presents Nightmare at the Mecca, Sunday, October 20th at the Mecca, 106 Bergen Ave, Richfield Park, New Jersey. Featuring BCW Women's Champion Vicious Vicky, BCW Heavyweight Champion Darius Carter, the Allfather, Anthony Gangone, Jay Bougie, and more. Get your tickets now and be sure to follow BCW on YouTube and Title Match Network.